Okay, here we go. First video ever, so I'm just letting you know in advance it's probably going to be painful. This is the Germany journal that was made from a manila envelope. I have my Ireland one here just because it's a little easier to see the envelope in this one. Just checking to see. Yep, looks like I've got you right in the center. So here's the manila envelope, as you can see, with the hole that comes with it. And the nice thing about these is that when you fold them in half and secure them however you do in the middle, then you're left with this nice little pocket on the side for stuff that doesn't fit anyplace else. This one I sewed in advance right here, which was nice. It's sturdy and it doesn't fall apart very easily, but you're kind of limited. I have little pockets here. So that's one option though. You can just make signatures. So you just fold your papers in half, sew them through the middle, tie them off on the back, and it's nice and secure. This little thing I pulled out just to remind you to take a little notebook when you go out throughout the day and make notes. This is the one I did for Ireland, and we were on a bus, so it gets really, really messy. But when you get back at the end of the day, you can transcribe these. Some of this will make sense if you do it while you're fresh. So that was, sorry for the bump, Ireland. And this one is Germany. Same concept. There's the envelope. Maybe you can see it on the outside better. Yeah, there's the hole for the envelope. I added a flap made just from an old manila folder, just because I thought it was going to be pretty fat and chunky and needed something to kind of go around. I also made a little pen holder here. Here's your pocket with all your extra goodies. This is just a piece of folder that's situated like this so that you can slide your pen into it. This one, oh sorry again. This one I punched holes and used book rings so that you can add pages as you want. And that was nice because like for this one, every day the ship would give us these pages about what was going to happen that day. And so I could kind of splice them in half, put everything that happened that day between them, and then add them to the journal. So that's just another way you can do it. As you can see, it flops around a little bit. It isn't quite as secure, but it isn't going anywhere. So if you don't mind that, this is a little more flexible. This is the book that I carried around with me. It was nice because I had a little more, again, you can see how bad it is. You really need to transcribe these the day that you get back, or you're not going to know what you said. It was nice to have a little more room. I put the day's itinerary in there. I kept losing the pen. People behind me would find it and return it to me. So do a better job of that than I did. Whatever you choose, you just need something you could slip into your pocket on the run. So I kept that in there. I start off with a map of where we're going, and those were our stops along the way, and a little packing list. Not necessary, but I watched a journal, an art journal video by Lorraine Bell. If you look her up on YouTube, you'll see hers. She's phenomenal. Much better at drawing. So here's the journal, and I put receipts in there. I write itineraries in there. Little bit about what happened. We met our first tour guide that day. So just little blurbs about what happened. Our boarding pass, all of this stuff goes in, and you can just layer it so that it doesn't take up so much space. Every day that we were out, I made a little pocket so that you can put things that are kind of bulky in there, and you don't have to take up precious paper space with them. And then pictures go on the back, and you can tier them like this. You know, if you want, you don't have to take up, again, a lot of space with individually spaced pictures. Again, here's our little daily program guide. So this was the first part of this day. We were on the boat a bunch that day, so I did a lot of writing. And then we went, when we got to our destination, we were out and about. Here's our little excursion information, ticket stubs, picture. Here's a nice tourist in Dürnstein. That was a very steep hill. It doesn't look like it there, but an icy. So that's just what I've done throughout here, is just write down who our guide was that day, just little things that they've told us, memories that we've got throughout there. I don't know that there's any more to really tell. Oh, bad drawing. I really like people who can do urban sketching, but I'm not one of them. However, I will say that when I look at this, I can picture that street exactly. I know what was across the street from it. I remember these buildings. There's a little garden down here. So, you know, it may not be a great drawing, but the memory comes back just like that. So there's something to that. And if you can actually draw, so much the better. I bought a sweater. So the tags went in. This was interesting. Our last day in Germany, Anne said, you know, we haven't had a German beer. We really ought to have a German beer before we left. So we set off to find one. And we walked and we walked and we walked, and we finally found one in a Mexican restaurant. So that's pretty much it. Holler at me if you've got any questions. It's pretty easy. My pockets are just cardstock, the kind that scrapbookers use. I just had a flap here, a little extra flap, so that I had a place to put the holes, and then just glued all this stuff together, or tape, or you know, something, whatever it takes. But it's nice to have a place to put the things that are either too big for your pages, or they're bulky, you know, brochures and such, that you can glue them in, you can paper clip them in, you can do whatever you want. I just find the pockets to be kind of handy. So then I closed it all up with just a button that I just sewed on. You can't see it, it's underneath this pocket. I just sewed a button on. I have a grommet in here, but you can do exactly what they did here and just reinforce the hole so that your thread doesn't, it's just waxed linen thread. I really should decorate the outside someday. But there it is, nice and chunky. If you have any questions, holler at me. I'm happy to answer them. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your trip. And a little bit, well, no, I'm a lot envious. So enjoy your trip.